A very good day to everyone, and especially to you, ma'am. I am Riena Elnar, and I will be giving my reaction video of the novel Noli Tangere by Dr. Jose Rizal. Noli Tangere, or Touch Me Not, is a book authored by Jose Rizal, which is indeed a great work of literature, or a masterpiece even. The title Noli Tangere was actually taken from the Bible. Rizal was supposed to have collaborators or partners in the writing of the book, but they neglected it in favor of gambling and flirting with women. It occurred to me that the book had characters that were indeed real. The characters and their personalities were meticulously picked by the author, which is, of course, Dr. Rizal, to represent each and every stratum of Spanish colonial society in the Philippines. Rizal wrote to depict the colonial life from the perspective of the oppressed colonial subject. Like most novelists of the time, he saw art as a sign of expressing reality and advocating for societal change. The oppression and bigotry of the church and its clergymen were clearly illustrated through the characters of Father Damaso and Father Salvi. The concept of how wealthy Indios install influence to the society of elites by holding large parties and gatherings is best represented by Capitan Tiago or Santiago de los Santos, the father of Maria Clara. In his honor, Don Santiago de los Santos, a family friend commonly known as Capitan Tiago, threw a get-together party which was attended by friars and other prominent figures when Ibarra came home from Europe in his 7 years of study. Although they became a puppet of both the church and the government for the protection of his business interests. Modern Capitan Tiagos are those businessmen who fund the political campaigns of politicians to acquire influence and business contracts from the government. Although not specifically Capitan Tiagos, but let's just say that it is the modern or they are the modern types or the modern versions of Capitan Tiagos. The cruelty of the head of the constabulary guards to the natives are a clear depiction of their struggles. Well, that depiction is still present in today's modern society, as we all can observe. People still fight due to the continuing proliferation of violence, corruption, and oppression, but, aside from foreign rule, it is now but from their own people. An example of this would be maybe our mayors, president, vice president, or anybody from the government, but the truth is yet to be unfolded. We never know. We still don't know. On the other note, Rizal's appreciation and adoration to the women of his generation were embodied by his characterization of Maria Clara. Maria Clara was said to be the symbol of a true Filipino beauty and character. She is veiled with great politeness and with full of grace in her utterness of words and movement of her delicate but fragile body. However, just like what happened to Maria Clara, women nowadays are also victims of violence, obscurantism, and carnal lust by people of the church and those in authority. Women in a modern society, just like Maria Clara, has a lot to say when it comes to sexual abuse. Women like Maria Clara, especially in today's time in our modern society, they are given less of an opportunity to voice their problems or to voice what is happening in their lives. There are still a lot of places in the world that normalizes sexual abuse, and we hope, that someday it would all end. There are a lot of relatable scenarios in the book that is very much happening in our society nowadays. Just like a part of the story which Dr. Rizal criticized, that is the most basic, irreducible unit of the society or the family, is worth to be noticed in the passages of the novel. A basic native Indio family composed of Narcissa or Sisa and her cruel and drunkard husband Pedro. Now I'm just going to share something just because I relate or I think I relate to the situation, but I think there is also a difference between my family and Sisas. Although my situation to theirs is a little different, I, as a daughter who has abusive parents, I too rarely am able to feel love, both from my mother and father, which is why it caught my attention. Now, as I end my reaction video, I can conclude that Noli Me Tangere depicts stories and passages that exist even today, much less that it lays down the problem and the rotten system of our modern Philippine society. Dr. Jose Rizal was indeed successful, if not even triumphant in his aim to influence and educate his readers to realize the current socio-political scenario of their times. So that would be all. Good day, everyone, and thank you for listening.